2023 was a very significant year in the educational sphere, and I'll tell you why. In Sacramento, California, the Capital College and Career Academy received the incoming freshman class for the first time ever. And today, the executive director, Kevin Dobson, and three of his students, Noah, Caesar, and Kasai, are joining us on Construction Genius to talk all about their experience at this free public charter school that is dedicated to accelerating the learning of high school students with a particular aim of ushering a new crop of highly skilled, highly motivated individuals into the construction industry. It's a great conversation. It's a nice four-way discussion with these wonderful people, and you'll be inspired to think about how you might be able to help other people find a way into the construction industry in high school, college, and beyond. So thank you for listening to Construction Genius today. Enjoy the conversation. This is Eric Anderton, and you're listening to Construction Genius, a leadership masterclass. Thomas Edison said that genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. If you're a construction leader, you know all about the perspiration, and this show is all about the 1% inspiration that you can add to your hard work to help you to improve your leadership. Kevin, welcome back to Construction Genius.
How's it going? Nice to be here, or nice for you to be here.
I know. We're sitting in the beautiful campus of Capital College and Career Academy. You've been on the show a couple of times. We've talked about your journey to getting to this point where the school is open and the freshman class is in. What's been your biggest accomplishment, you think, not just that you've achieved, but the whole group that's been working with you, both the people who sponsored it and the people who are involved in it? What's been the biggest accomplishment, you think, in the last couple of years?
I think just getting this campus open and seeing students here. I mean, that was all the work since 2019. All the countless hours was for that moment. And so I still, it might be a long day of work, kind of just pinching myself of wow, look what we've done, and seeing the opportunities, hearing from families, hearing from students, what this campus has meant to them. And I think just working with students one-on-one and getting them to really take ownership of this space because it's their school and their building. And so that's been the thing that I think I've been most proud of and most excited about.
That's excellent. So with that in mind, we have three students here with us today, the freshman class, the first class of the school. So I just want to go around the room and have each one of you guys introduce yourself, or unless you want to introduce the students.
Sure. We have Noah, Caesar, and Kasai, but I'll allow them to introduce themselves. And maybe you guys can also just share where you're from or how you found your way to CCCA.
There you go.
So I found my way to CCCA.
What's your name?
Oh, Noah.
Hey, Noah.
Noah. The school was recommended to me by a student who goes here. He's also my friend. And then my mom told me about it, and I thought that it would be a pretty cool place because I like construction and I want to weld. And so the trades classes was perfect. So that's what I was interested in.
That's great. Why do you want to weld?
Because you make pretty good money, and I took a summer welding class last summer, and it was really fun.
That's cool. So, where were you taking that class?
Sac State.
Sac State. Okay. Mm-hmm. Awesome. And I know that you draw students from all areas here. How close are you to the campus as far as where you live?
15 minutes away.
Nice.
That was great.
No, Lamb Park.
Lamb Park. Excellent. Okay, cool. Caesar.
Hi. My name is Caesar. I learned about the school when they had came to my middle school and they presented of how the school was. And at first I thought it was, because when they said it was hands-on, I thought I was I didn't expect it to be how it is, how it actually is. But then I went online and I went to their website and I saw the video and I liked it because it's mainly focused on construction.
That's great. Now, when you compare what you've been doing as a freshman in high school versus what you were doing in middle school in terms of how your day is structured, what difference is there? What's the main difference, do you think? Because I remember in middle school, when I was in middle school, right, it was dude, I did not want to be there. So I'm sitting in class, right, and I'm this is so boring, right? Because I got to be in there for 6 periods a day and just sit there and then go to the next class and next class and next class. Is the high school experience that you're having, is it different than that, or is it similar to that? How does it work?
It's different because, like you said, in middle school, I didn't want to be there, but now when I go to the classes, I actually enjoy them because of the way they teach as well.
What's your favorite class?
Brooks class, craft skills.
Craft skills. Why is that your favorite?
Because they bring other industry people.
Yeah.
And they'll show us how to frame or how to do other like jobs. And I like that.
That's awesome. What's the one thing that you've learned so far that you're like, dude, this is pretty cool?
Yesterday when they came, they were showing us how to frame and I liked it. I even stayed during lunch as well to continue talking to them and them showing me how to do it.
That's cool. Okay, cool.
Your drywall was out here yesterday.
Oh, nice, nice.
Oh,
Hi, Kasai.
I'm Kasai, and I found out about the school because I live in the area, and my mom was like, "Oh, there's a new school. Like, you should go." And at first, I was like, "I'm good off that," because my middle school experience was not good, and I was like, the thought of going to high school didn't really excite me. So she was like, "All right, you have options. I'm not going to force you to go to this school." So she was like, "You could go to the summer program that they're having, and then we could sit down and have a talk about, which school you want to go to." And I did not want to go to the summer program either. But when I went there, I actually ended up enjoying myself. The first couple of days, I was kind of like, I want to get out of here. But then I sat and stayed there for a while. I met a lot of like the different partners that came in, and hearing them talk about like how they got to their jobs, it was really cool hearing them because a lot of them, they weren't into construction either. And I was like, you know what? I actually want to like give this a try. And so I was like, I actually made the decision to end up going to the school.
So they were telling you that they weren't into construction when they first, like they weren't thinking of it when they were like your age. Is that what they were saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of the stories that they told me like about like their high school years and like the jobs that they did before, I was like, you know what? I could relate. They were like, I didn't do that good in school, or like, there's a bunch of different stories. There are people that did good in high school, people that didn't do good in high school, and they gave me a lot of good advice. And yeah.
That's awesome. What's your favorite class?
My favorite class? Probably Mr. Brooks' class too, because of the people that come in. It's really cool hearing them talk, and it's nice that they come in and teach us stuff. They're always so kind and patient.
That's great. That's awesome. Just give the mic back to Kevin. I just have a quick question for him. Now, this Mr. Brooks, that's twice we've mentioned him. Who is Mr. Brooks?
Yeah, so a couple things. They have their introductory to craft skills is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Mr. Brooks is our building trades teacher. He actually came from Brooks Tile. We had one of our general contractor partners send out this blast email talking about the school, talking about our needs, and it was, we still have space available for students and looking for a building trades teacher. The other thing they're talking about is on every Tuesday and Thursday in Mr. Brooks's class, we have a career exploration in this first semester. And while students will start to go off campus next semester to do job shadows with employers, our goal this first semester is really to show them all the different career paths that exist. And so we've had the carpenter's apprenticeship. We've had the electricians out here. We had SR Diversify talking about heavy civil and the work that they've done. Standard Drywall was here this past week, and SMUD. I mean, it's always a different group. And the idea is to just do some type of hands-on activity that gives a snapshot of what it's like to in their specific part of the trades.
That's awesome. Awesome. Noah, back to you real quick. Welding. Does your family have a background in welding? No? Any background in construction?
Nope. Garbage.
Interesting. Really? Oh, they're in garbage.
Yeah, my dad's family owned a garbage business. We just sold it. So.
Cool. What do your parents think about you coming here?
My dad will support me either way. My mom supports me. She's the one who found the school, so she likes it. She thinks it's a good opportunity for me.
That's great. Now, when it comes to welding, is that something you're thinking about after graduation getting into, or what are your thoughts?
I want to go to a school called Western Welding Academy. It's in Wyoming. And they teach you how to pipeline weld. That's the welding I want to go into.
You want to get into pipeline?
Yeah.
Now, why pipeline?
Because you make a lot of good money there.
Okay. What do you think about it's kind of like when you see someone doing something, you're like, dude, that'd be sweet. But then when you start to do it, you kind of find out the reality of it. So like pipeline welding, I'm assuming you're going to be traveling a lot and all that kind of stuff. How does that sound?
Oh, I'm kind of all for it because a lot of them drive big trucks and I like trucks.
There you go.
I also love hard work, so.
That's good. That's good. What's the most challenging aspect of going to school here?
I wouldn't say there's really a challenge. The only challenge is I like working with my hands, so I want like a longer shop class.
Uh-huh.
That's about it.
Okay. So sometimes you do kind of get a little bored sitting in the regular classes and kind of waiting for the other classes to come. Yeah. I know how that is. Caesar, let me ask you another question here. What is your family's background in construction?
My dad does a little bit of everything. And during the summer, I would go with him to work. I started liking construction when I go with him. And then I found out that they do it here and I liked it.
So what do you like about construction?
It's hands-on. Everything's hands-on. And you're always occupied doing something.
Yep. So as you've been here, what is something that has surprised you or you're like, I didn't know that when you first came to school, and now after being here a few months, you think, wow, I didn't know that when I first came in. So after you graduate, what are some goals that you might have?
Well, I wanted to become an engineer.
Uh-huh.
And my sister's also become an engineer, so she helps me a lot on like which college to go to. Uh-huh. And we decided to go to UCLA.
Okay. Interesting. Has she been to college?
Yeah.
Where did she go?
Not sure.
Okay, no problem. But that's interesting, okay? Because Noah, you've already got in mind the welding place, and you're thinking about, it's interesting, you're not thinking about immediately going into construction, you're thinking about going on to the university and getting an engineering degree. That's interesting. Now, why do you want to be an engineer?
Because my parents' friend, he's an engineer, and I saw what he did, and I just liked it.
That's cool. What do you like about it?
That you're not just like sitting in like an office or something and just typing. You're actually doing something.
That's cool. Do you know what kind of engineer you want to be?
That I'm not sure.
Because there's lots of different things you can do there, huh? Yeah. That's interesting. Cool. Okay, Kasai. So I know, there's a long way to go, right? You all are all freshmen, right?
Yeah.
So a lot can happen between freshman year and senior year. So it's not like you're setting this in stone and you must do it because you said it on the podcast. Mm-hmm. But what would you say are your goals after you graduate, if you have any?
Right now, I don't really have like a set, this is what I want to do. But my goal is to really just I'm the kind of person that I like to look at different things and explore different things. Mm-hmm. So I just want to be able to peek my head into different things, but still make a good living.
That's cool. Yeah. Now, here at the school, what are some of the different things that you're learning?
Well, we learn a lot. Obviously, we learn a lot about all the different fields in construction we could get into. But another thing that was kind of shocking when I came here is that I thought it was just going to be all construction, but we learn a lot about just what you need to do to be successful in any career that you want to get into. So, yeah.
What's one thing that you've learned about being successful in any career? What's something that stuck with you there?
Something that stuck with me is probably what we've been learning in our Get Focused class. Just being responsible, being strict, not strict with yourself, but just when you're an adult, you obviously have to make really responsible decisions with your money, and making sure that when you get into a job, you're being realistic. So it's not just oh, I want to do this and I'm just going to walk into this blindly, but doing research, getting prepared so you could have an advantage.
Hey, this is Eric. Thank you for listening to my discussion here with Michael, all things scheduling. And let's just have a quick break to remind you about my book, Construction Genius, Effective Hands-On Practical, Simple, No BS, Leadership, Strategy, Sales, and Marketing Advice for Construction Companies. This is what you do. You go out to Amazon, you purchase 10 copies. That's $200. Then what you do is you email me and you say, Eric, I purchased 10 copies. And you know what I'll do? I'll come into your office via Zoom with your leadership team. do a Q&A around the book, and also a bonus leadership training session. And that has a value of $2,500, but you'll get it for just $200 if you buy 10 or more copies. So go out to Amazon right now and click on the link, or rather type into the box, Construction Genius, and my book will pop up. You buy 10 copies, you contact me. We'll have an awesome time in that 1 hour Q&A and leadership training session. And now, back to my conversation with Michael. It's interesting as I think about our culture at the moment, there's an idea that many people have of sort of extending childhood well into your 20s.
Yeah.
And I know, like with my kids, I'm like, dude, you're going to work as soon as you can. And then when you graduate from high school, you can go to college, but you're going to work as well. And you need to step up and start behaving like as an adult as soon as possible. Do you think here at the school you guys have, is that kind of an emphasis that's made? We're going to be doing some adulting and we're going to be doing it sooner rather than later?
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was in middle school, the main question I always was wondering when I was in class is, when am I going to use this in the real world? And that question is always answered when I'm at the school. When I was in middle school, the teachers would just be like, what are you talking about? Like, get to work. But now they explain, and I don't even have to ask that question. They'll just say, so when you get into this career, you will have to use this. In math, we apply it to like work. So like, you're not just doing math, you're like learning how you would be using the math in work. So it's like, I feel like at this school I'll be successful because like I won't be just have no clue when I go in like to work. I'll be like, oh, I learned this and I know how to apply it to my job.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, please. Yeah, Kevin. Yeah.
Say something.
Yeah, go ahead.
So that's great to hear, because I think we talked about this on a couple of podcasts, Eric, is that my frustration as a high school teacher and then as a principal was exactly what Kasai said. It's like, why are we teaching this stuff, right? And students have been in school for 12 years, and then we get to graduation and it's like, all right, well, we prepared you for college. Yeah, but that's only 30% of people are going to actually go to college and get a degree. So like, what did those 12 years, how did that translate to you getting a job, having a career, knowing what you want to do, whether that's college or a career? And so that's one of the things like we've really emphasized here as a staff is to try and answer those questions. I'm not saying that you have to go be in construction or you're going to have to use this math in this way, but at least be able to answer that question of like, why are we learning this? And then through the 4 years, students are building their resume. The other thing we're really excited about, we're about 2.5 months into the school year, half the students are going to Sac State for a mentorship program with the Sac State Construction Management Engineering students.
Nice.
All of the students have gotten their CPR first aid certificate.
Nice.
All of the students have started their OSHA 10 with more and more of them starting to complete that. So we're a semester, not even a semester in, and they have more on their resume than like 90% of other high school students are getting just by the time they get to graduation.
That's awesome. So let me ask you guys, I'm going to ask all three of you this, and then if you have an answer, that'd be great. What are your friends who aren't going here, or your family members who aren't going here, what do they think about you guys going to this high school and the difference between, let's say, their experience and your experience? Anyone got anything on that? No, this is Noah, by the way.
I mean, my friends, they don't really care. My family members are happy that I found something that I like to do and like a school that I like to want, or a school that I want to go to. So they're just kind of happy for me, I guess.
Yep. That's cool. That's cool. How about you, Caesar?
Sort of the same thing like Noah, but I told my friends about how the school is and what do we do, and they liked it. I tried convincing them to go here, but at the same time, they don't believe me.
What don't they believe?
Like, of how good it is.
So you've been recruiting, but they don't believe you, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. You know, it's funny when Kevin was talking about the construction management program at Sac State, that'd be a cool thing for you to check out, because if you go to engineering school at UCLA, there'll be some similarities there between what they're doing at the construction management and what they're doing at UCLA.
He's there. He's going.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Excellent. Kasai, what does your family and friends think about it?
My family, like, and whenever I tell them about it, they're always really interested in what I have to say. And they're always like, I've never heard of something like that.
Yeah.
Like, my friends, they think it's pretty cool. I try to get some of them to go too. They're just kind of like, nah.
No?
Nah.
Okay. Now you guys are like, you're the first class here. Okay. So I'm sure that Kevin and the other folks, they're actually going to be getting some feedback from you guys and learning a lot as you're going through it. And I know you're just starting, so it's not like, years of experience here, but as you're getting going here, is there anything that you've noticed that maybe for the next freshman class coming in could be done better or differently or anything like that?
Or even advice for those.
There you go. Advice for people coming in, especially like if you've been to regular school and so you're sitting on your butt all day and you're just kind of spacing out, waiting for the classroom bell to ring. What advice do you have for like the next class coming in?
They should just go and like try friending everyone or meet everyone, because you're gonna have a class with most of the people there.
Right. Okay, cool.
Well, I think the kids should be prepared, because some of the kids that go here, they don't really try it in the building class or like the class with a lot of tradespeople, and they don't really have good grades. I think that like all the kids that go here should know that you kind of have to put in the work to get good grades in that class. It's not just a free class.
So that's interesting then. So really, really lay it out for the next class coming in, that it's not just show up, get a grade. Because sometimes in schools, that's what I hear from people, right? Yeah. It's like, if you show up and you're not too much of a jerk, they'll at least pass you. You know what I'm saying? But it's a little more intensive than that. Mm-hmm. It's a little more intentional. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Kevin, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it's funny. We've had a couple folks from the community who are very involved in a number of local districts. And I was disheartened a little bit by one of the comments. They came in and they're just like, wow, like kids are learning and the teacher's teaching. It's like, well, yeah, that should be the minimum expectation of what happens in a school. But they were like, that doesn't happen around here. That doesn't happen at these high schools. And I think that also maybe just speaks to the state of school. We do a lot of work with Neighborhood Wellness. They came out and did a fentanyl presentation for our students, but they do these community listening circles. And that was one of the things that some of the people that work there, formerly incarcerated, but they were sports players at some of the local high schools. And they said teachers would just tell them, hey, just come to my class. You're a leader. Just don't cause any issues. You'll get a C.
Yep.
And you hear these grown men talking about how they're a senior in high school and can't even read the writing on a Nutri-Grain bar.
Yep.
And how like disheartening that is and how helpless it felt.
Yep.
And so one of the things that I think we as a team is, how do we set high expectations? How do we support students? And I'll also call out that we have some students that are here that are really struggling in math and English. I mean, they're at early elementary school level. And so that means that school has not been a place where they've found success for 8-9 years. And so here they come in, and our work as the instructional team is how do we get them, how do we have a culture where they feel safe enough to take a risk, to keep trying, to trust us, and start to see some of those successes and keep trying, because if you don't, we have all the opportunities in the world, but if you're at a first grade reading level or a first grade math level, you can't be successful in the workforce. Those opportunities aren't going to be available for you. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done as well. And I think that's the challenge and also the reward of being in this profession.
That's great. What's the biggest learning lesson? I know only 2 months in with kids here. What's the biggest learning lesson for you where you're like, okay, next class through, we're going to do things a little bit different?
Yeah, I think just as a new school, right, you're building policies, procedures, all the things. So that helps strengthen some of the things that we're doing. The team will continue to grow as enrollment grows. To be honest, I think, this is what I've always done in profession as a school leader, as a high school teacher. Just listen to the students. They're going to tell you what's working and what's not. And sometimes they don't even need to explicitly see it. You walk in a class and everybody's heads down, phones out. Like, obviously, we're not doing something right in there. So just continuing to rely on the student's voice. And my job as a school leader is really to create an environment for our staff where they feel comfortable taking risk with their curriculum and saying, well, I've always taught math this way, or I've always taught English this way. Okay, well, what can we do differently? How can you make that more engaging, more hands-on? How can you make it, as Kasai was saying, like make those connections to the real world? And you're going to try some things and it's going to be awful. And hopefully the students have some grace and it's like, all right, that was a bad class. That didn't work, right? But then also feel comfortable to be able to come back as a teacher and try something new the next day.
That's cool. Okay, so last question. Noah, what's your next class you're going to?
I have English class.
Oh.
You're in PE right now. Well, I'm in PE right now.
This isn't very PE sitting here, huh? So English, what are you going to be learning in your English class?
I don't really know. We do this thing on the computers. It's like to kind of help you with like fluency and stuff. That's okay. I'm not really a big fan.
So what's the next class that you're pumped for?
Oh, math.
When's that coming?
That comes after lunch.
Cool. What are you going to be learning there?
Something to do with fractions, I think.
Beautiful. Awesome. Caesar, how about you? What's the next class?
I have the same class at Noah, English after PE.
Yep.
I'm also not a big fan of English class.
Yep. I understand. Yep.
He makes it fun to learn English, or like how the way he teaches.
How does he make it fun?
I don't know how to describe it.
It's okay. Yeah.
But it's like way better than my middle school English classes and stuff.
That's cool. That's cool. Kasai, next class?
English as well.
You guys are all going to the same classes then, yeah? Nice.
But I did want to say, because you said that like when you walk into a class and everybody has their head down and stuff. Here was my first time ever experiencing. We were in Mandarin, I think. And
in Mandarin, you guys are taking Mandarin?
Yeah.
Nice.
We were in Mandarin and like the classes weren't really going well. And our teacher, she said, well, you guys need to give me some ideas that what would you guys want to do to learn Mandarin that you think would be fun. And like everybody was like engaged, giving suggestions. And that was the first time I ever like heard a teacher actually care about if we were enjoying the class or not. And it shocked me. Like I was like, dang, because she was actually trying to like talk to me about like, well, I don't want this class to be like boring for you guys. I don't want you guys to just sit here and not learn anything, not want to be here. Like, what can I do to like help you guys out? And that was my first time ever like hearing that from a teacher before.
Excellent. Well, Kasai, Caesar, Noah, really appreciate your time. Sorry taking you out of PE. And we should have done it during the math, right?
No, we should.
I mean, during English. We should have done it during English, right? Yeah. My bad. And Kevin, thanks for having us. Let me just bring it back to you here real quick. I'd just like you to give a shout out to the folks in the construction community who've supported you guys. And just tell us a little bit about that if you could.
I mean, you walk around the school and you just see the names of some of the large general contractors, some of the apprenticeships, just Five Star Bank is another one.
Yep.
Folks that have just been integral to this mission. We just did our mini golf tournament and some of these guys participated in
nice.
that. Some of the industry partners sponsored some foursomes. But what I say is we would not be here without the industry support. I mean, you walk around this campus, the moment you step foot in here, it's like, man, this does not feel like a school. You've got all new furniture, state-of-the-art TVs, projectors, audiovisual systems, and all those activities, whether it's the CPR first aid. This coming Monday, we're going to Chico State to do a campus tour and visit Turner's job site. I mean, there is so many opportunities. We go off campus so much to really engage in what's happening in the real world. And so none of that would be possible if it wasn't for all the industry support that we have. I'm not going to sit here and say that need has completely gone away. The more support that we continue to receive, the more opportunities like this that we can have. But like I said, I cannot be thankful enough for all the partners. Just listing some of the board members. I mean, we've got McCarthy, Roblin, the Western Steel Council, the NorCal Carpenters, you've got SMUD, Caltrans, Tykert, Granite. I mean, the list goes on. And so, yeah, just incredibly appreciative.
Let me just ask real quick there. It's interesting because it seems like there's a combination of companies that are both union and non-union. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. A mix of both that have been involved in this.
So I think I just want to make a note to the audience here that this is a local effort in the Sacramento region that Kevin has initiated. And something that folks in other regions should be looking for, where there's an opportunity to start charter schools in combination with the business and the labor community and even the local government and other entities. And there's a lot that can be done here, particularly as we focus on the tremendous need for a trained labor force in the construction industry in the years to come.
Yeah, and I just think from a K-12 perspective, right? We started this in 2019 before the pandemic, and I think there was a lot of things that weren't working in education before the pandemic. And coming out of COVID, you look around and it just felt like the need for something different has grown exponentially. And so certainly to support the labor pipeline, but also just to get kids excited about coming to school every day, right? You've got to do this. Who wants to go to a job where you're just miserable every day, right?
Yes.
And so for so many students, that's become the norm. And that leads to statistics we see at our closest comprehensive schools where you get like a 40% truancy rate at one and a third of another high school not graduating. And it's, because there's no meaning, no relevance for those students.
Well, I was just thinking as we were doing this that I'm going to have to come back and maybe trace you guys through your career here. And as you get into the sophomore, junior, and senior class, just kind of get a little more feedback from you guys and learn more about what's been going on. So I really appreciate all of you guys coming on. Kevin, thanks for having me in. And I do wish you all the best.
Appreciate it.
This is Eric. Hope you enjoyed my conversation today with Kevin and Noah and Caesar and Kasai. I know I did. And if you are in the greater Sacramento area, you must check out Capital College and Career Academy, particularly if you have a high school student or someone who is a prospective high school student who you think would be interested in the trades. This is a cause worthy of your support. And so check out the links in the show notes for more information about Capital College and Career Academy. I know if you reached out to Kevin, he would get back to you as well. He's very responsive and is really the driving force behind this. So thanks again for listening to Construction Genius. Feel free to share this episode with other people, and we'll catch you on the next episode.